past couple of weeks, I've received some very exciting book mail from publishers, so let's dive right in. Starting out with the most exciting one for me personally is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This was sent to me by Tor Books. I'll read anything V.E. Schwab related, especially because I loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I even named my cat after her. Her name is Rue. I love her. She's incredible. We love Addie LaRue. But I'm really excited for this one because I've heard great things about it, but also supposedly it's a vampire related story, and I love me a good vampire book. Next from Bloomsbury Books, I have The Dark Mirror by Samantha Shannon. This is the fifth installment to her Bone Season series that she has actually updated and kind of rewritten the first four books before diving into this one. So I'm very excited. I do have to reread the original four in the series before I get to this one, only because, like I said, she did update things and rewrite a little bit of each book to kind of make it flow better and to fit her writing style more to what it is now. So I do have to read those before I dive into this one. I love the Bone Season, and I read the first two books and I love them both so much. So I'm excited to read the updated versions, which I have them all. Very exciting. They also were sent to me a few months back by Bloomsbury Books. But now I have the fifth one to dive right in when I complete those. Apologies if this changed. I realized that this had died on me and there was no audio for the last 20 minutes of me talking. So here I am refilming this. Anyway, Harper Voyager sent me The Legend of Maneka, a finished hardback copy. Oh my gosh, what did I do to deserve that? I have no idea. But let's go into what this one is about because I was vibing with it. So I'm very excited they sent it to me. This is an exhilarating fantasy inspired by one of the most famous romances in Hindu mythology. Sounds good to me. There's even some, I don't know if you can see that, some glorious end pages there. Yeah, so thank you so much, Harper Voyager, for sending this my way. Saga Books sent me a historical fantasy called The Gentleman and His Vowsmith by Rebecca Ide. That, yes, this is a queer historical fantasy. Love it. We love to see that. I'm going to read the back of this real quick to you so you can get a better idea of what we're really working with this book. It is an arranged marriage goes wrong when a murderer is added to the mix in this queer historical fantasy rife with arcane magic, deadly conspiracies, and high heat encounters. And honestly, I can attest to that because I have read about 50% of this book already. The romance in it is, top tier, honestly. There is a bit of a spicy scene, like with a window seat and everything. And I just love when fantasies are a bit lower on the fantasy side, but mix in other genres, genre benders. This one has a mystery at its core, and we love to see that. So I'm very excited to continue this and finish it out, and I hopefully will enjoy the ending because I'm already enjoying it. William Morrow sent me a finished copy of Queen of Diamonds by B.Z. Marsh. This is the third book and final book in a riveting crime trilogy about a real-life London gang that began with the Queen of Thieves, and it's set in the 1920s Soho. Now, I haven't read the first two books. I don't know if you have to read them in order. I do appreciate the publisher for sending this copy my way, and if you have read the first two books, the third one is on its way. So be on the lookout for that. And maybe I will look into whether or not you can read them out of order. Because, I do like crime thrillers and things like that, especially historical ones. So I'm going to give this one a chance at some point. But again, if you have read these books before, the third one is coming out very soon. Bramble Books sent me Go Luck Yourself by Sarah Rosh. This is the sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I listened to on audiobook actually just a couple of weeks ago and had a lot of fun with it. These books don't take themselves too seriously. It is set in a world where the royalty are the princes and kings and queens and leaders of holidays. So this one in particular follows the spare prince of Christmas because the first book was the actual heir of Christmas. This one's following the spare prince and then the very hot prince of St. Patrick's Day. I'm excited to read this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, just like the first one. And yeah, this one's coming out. When is it? March. Oh, perfect time for St. Patrick's Day. Del Rey Books sent me Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. This is not the final cover. Supposedly there's going to be another one. I don't know if that's been announced yet. I'll have to look into that. But this one sounds right up my alley because it is set in a world of tarot magic, dark academia, and enemies to lovers. Now, I've read other books by Elise Kova. I didn't absolutely love them, although I did enjoy her writing style. So I have a feeling this one might grab my attention a bit more, especially because the other ones that I read of hers were like years and years ago. So I'm sure she has grown as an author. So I can't wait to dive in. And, you know, dark academia, right up my alley. We love to see it. Yes. So thank you, Del Rey Books, for sending this my way. Berkeley sent me Zom Romcom by Olivia Dade. I can't tell if I love or hate this cover, quite honestly. The colors are something. But this is set in a world where there's a zombie apocalypse, and it's following our main character who goes to save her neighbor's life, and it turns out that that neighbor does not need saving because he's an ancient vampire. Zombies, vampires, great, love it. And because it's Olivia Dade, we have some plus size rep in it. So I think I'm going to enjoy this one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and very entertaining. I can't wait to dive in. The next one I received does not even come out until fall of 2025. So they sent me a very early copy. There's literally no cover whatsoever on this. This is Witch of the Wolves by Kaylee Archer. Now, this one is a romantasy following the main character who is a half witch, half werewolf, and she gets taken in by her father's pack. Her father is a werewolf, and I think the leader of the werewolves. Anywho, yeah, she has to now survive this like dual heritage ordeal amongst her pack. Yeah, it sounds right up my alley. They reached out to me and asked if I would want to read an early copy, and once I figured out what it was about, I was all in. So thank you, St. Martin's Griffin, for sending me a very early copy of this romantasy. Orbit Books sent me a historical fantasy called Once Was Willem by M.R. Carey. This is also a dark historical fantasy. Now, one of the blurbs on the back really caught my attention because it says, "It's so absurdly fun and readable, you nearly miss the incredible use of language and lore. Lovable grotesques and ghastly villains populate a compelling folktale. Absolutely wonderful." That sounds like something I would read the heck out of, honestly. I love books that are incredibly well written. I can read some that aren't, but usually language is what gets me. So if this is what this book is, down for it. Also, I love when there's a lot of villains and it's dark and creepy, and that sounds like something this book is going to give me. So thank you so much, Orbit Books. This is coming out in March. Now, the final book of round 2 of this video is Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. This is a romantasy. Duh. This is following a young woman who must hide her powers and only reveals them in order to save her best friend's life. In doing so, she is taken back to the kingdom to serve the king, and I believe she is then guarded by the prince's silent guard and rumored killer. Yeah. This is probably enemies to lovers, or at least hate to love. Vibing with it. Thank you so much, Ace Books, for sending this my way. So there you have it, everyone. Those are all the books that were recently sent to me by publishers. I don't even know where to start. I might go with the one that's most anticipated for me, at least, the V.E. Schwab one. I might go with that one, but I'm such a mood reader that I really don't even know. I don't know. But let me know if there are any in these that you would like to see long form reviews for, or maybe a YouTube shorts, something like that. If you want to get exclusive content, you can always join my bindery page. My bindery is arcaneknightspress.binderybooks.com. You can get exclusive content there. You can get my free tier, which just has my general content like this one, or you can pay $5 to get even more exclusive content, voting on the books that you want to see me read. If you want any of these ones, you can vote on them. You can if you join my $5 paid tier. I don't expect you to, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff, and I will see you all next time. Bye!